Lights out. Indeed. Hey. We the top 10. UGK the major way, not play it don't stop here. Traffic lights, we going, know the time until the clock near. Hands on roll, we doing digi to the whole block clear. Yo, what you got there? Oh, did you not hear? And he's taking over and we got the whole shop, yeah.
One, two, coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet. Unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it, my words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it, you know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly, we ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all, peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah.
Feel like Kobe, I'm like Jokic with the rock.
Hey, John.
Hi. How are you?
I feel like we've all been here before. We don't really need the intro. Is anybody new here? Does anybody know not what you're watching? You?
Yep.
You?
Yeah, I see a few hands.
Oh, fuck. Okay. This is the PHP Ugly Podcast, a podcast that focuses on the PHP programming language, its surrounding community, and our company, PHP. Boom! Architect, baby. Boom.
You're getting it there, sort of. Eventually.
If this is your first time watching, welcome. We record every Thursday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, and you too can be part of that stream by joining us in our Discord at discord.phpugly.com. You can add titles, you can do all sorts of fun stuff, but more importantly, you can hang out there all week long with a crowd of very intelligent, very welcoming, and very helpful people who all kind of get the PHP groove. The overall podcast is made a little better thanks to our sponsors, honeybadger.io, and our supporters on Patreon, and we're going to talk about all of them a little later. Is that everything, John?
You did a good job.
I appreciate
You got there,
John. You messed up though. I'm just going to say.
How did
put
I
it out
mess
there. You didn't
What
put
did
the
I
chat
do?
up. Boom.
Yeah, I did screw that up.
Yeah, it's fine. So there's our chat people. Hey. Yeah, look at that. SoCal kid.
Some jackass complaining about you cutting off the music a little too early and jumping into Harry Mack quickly. Yeah.
SoCal kid got a new job, and SoCal kid now works from home during the daylight hours. She has joined the rest of us daywalkers with living normal lives. So congratulations to SoCal Kid, who also managed to wrap up her bachelor's degree recently. I don't know if I talked about that on the show or not, but
You have not. Congrats.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Making all sorts of things happen.
That just means you're getting old.
I know. I don't appreciate it. Not one bit. It really bothers me, the fact that now I have to say my adult kids. It's like, what? Not happy about it. Not happy about it at all.
Your kid says it's hard to stay up all day and sleep at night. I've been doing it for many years, and I still have a hard time staying up in the daytime.
Yeah.
For some reason at night, I wander back into my office and I sit here, and then before I know it, it's 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, I should be asleep, because I still got to get up at like between 6 and 7 with the kids. And
right. Well, that's the thing, right? Your kids are at that age where you go into your office at night after the kids have been put down to bed and the house is like quieted down and everything's chilled out, and all of a sudden you can get that focus and you just want to pump it out for a little bit longer, and you'll just lose track of time and it moves on.
Yep,
I get it. I've been doing that a little bit myself.
So it's those hours that I get to do stuff like get our accounting up to date, which is a pain in the ass when you run your own business.
Kind of important, though.
Keep it on top of that. Trying to lay out a book right now, that's taking time, and it doesn't help that I changed a little bit of how I moved all the chapters from down one. So chapter 1 became like the preface, I think, and then chapter 2 became 1, and they had already numbered all of their listings, which shouldn't have done, but we didn't have a conversation about that before they wrote. So now I got to go renumber all of the listings and make sure everything is right. On top of that, laying out the magazine. I have 3 articles I'm trying to fix right now, because everyone is writing these like super wide code examples, snippets.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to go and shorten all those down. And some of them one of them right now is a XML example, and those strings are already so long they're too wide. I just this sucks.
Oh man, I remember back in the day picking up the Coco magazine. That's where I got my code from. Like, you just copied all the code from the Coco magazine into your little PRS color computer, and oh man, life was simpler back then, Jen.
Yep. But now you have autocomplete. Just hit tab. Done.
We have AI. Yeah. John, it's snow season here in Southern California.
You're not making snow angels in the front yard?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, our version of snow angels. When I say snow season, I do mean fire season. And when I say snow, I do mean ash.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's been lots of wildfires around the house right now, and walked out the other day and ash covered my my car and laid down the front yard, made little ash angels. It was awesome, but unpleasant and dirty. I don't like it.
And not good for your lungs.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No. Yeah, so there's a couple of flying sites out that way. I got to fly at one in Hemet a couple weeks ago. Really?
You were that close, like literally next door to me. Okay, good. I'm sorry. Continue your story.
Had a nice 2-hour flight out there, and now it's like everyone that's been trying to go there has talked about how bad the ashes have been.
Yeah. All I heard from that is, I'll drive that far to fly in the air for 2 hours, but not to visit you, Eric. So
I wasn't driving. I didn't drive.
You pretty much wrapped up that talking point. Pretty, nice little. I'm a little bow.
Is it really that close to you?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you have to pass my house to get there.
No, you're further north.
Of Hemet?
Yeah, aren't you?
Okay, maybe I don't know how you get to Hemet. I mean,
I
for
don't
me,
I don't
Hemet,
I don't either because I didn't drive.
yeah, for me, Hemet is the kind of next area over. Maybe I don't know. The world is weird. I don't know what to tell you, man.
Gotcha.
What are you
I'm
working
sorry I
on,
didn't.
John?
Sorry I didn't visit you.
No, you're not
I
sorry.
didn't
Don't
drive.
give me your sorry. Don't give me that. You're not sorry. You're
I
not
am
sorry.
sorry.
No, you're not.
Yeah. See, Hemet is east. More east. Your kid even said so. I don't know.
John, we're
I don't know where
east.
things are.
What are you talking about? We're east. We're east of you. So for him it to be more east, that means it would be beyond the east of me.
I still feel like you're more north. Anyway, doesn't matter. How was your week? Although I think you just asked me.
I did, but I'll go first. I rarely get to go first. I don't know how to handle this. I'm excited, John.
What are you
Things
excited
are
about?
happening. Well, you know, I don't do this. I don't do this all willy-nilly, but I'm doing it now just because I'm excited. But I had a meeting with somebody this week, and I'm working on a secret project that is getting very close to happening. Now, this, I only say that because I have been working on this for over 2 years. And based on the meeting I had this week, and then based on the upcoming meeting where the things are moving forward finally, I'm excited.
Do
And
I know about this?
I will share it with the world as soon as we have something happening. I will definitely share it with the world. You might not know that was a secret project, but you'll hear me talking a lot about it in the future. Do you know what it is, John? No,
I don't.
you
I don't. I don't.
You do not. You know who my meeting was with because I told you. Maybe you can put it together, but I doubt it.
I doubt
Yeah.
it too because I have no clue what you're talking about.
I told you I had a meeting with somebody this week. Somebody unusual, like not unusual, like a weird person, just somebody I don't meet with on a very
yeah.
regular
Okay,
basis.
I know who you met with. I just don't know what you're referring to as a. Oh, okay. Now I know what the project is.
You think?
Maybe not.
It's not tech.
I know it's not tech.
We already
I-
shared that with people, John.
I know that.
Oh, you bastard! How did you know that?
He told me about it.
Oh, did I?
Yes.
I share too much with you. John knows everybody. John knows, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to talk about it because I have been working on this for years, literally years, and I have never been this close to making things happen. But I've got the pieces in place. I've got commitments from people, so we're just going to kind of move those chess pieces ahead, one little piece at a time.
Look at you making the chess reference.
Yeah, I felt like
I
that
have
was
to-
more of a checkers thing, but yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I'm excited for that if it takes hold and things come from it.
Yeah. What about you? How was your week? I've been told I'm too loud in Discord by my family, so and I like to talk a lot apparently. So
Yeah, that's why the show is as successful as it is. I'm just saying. Week very busy. Lots of good stuff going on. Lots of stuff around with one of our clients. I've been working on some new Salesforce stuff, which has been okay. We are currently, this client has somebody that does PLG, product led growth, and this is new for them and it's new for me. I've never had somebody in this role, so I'm working with this person.
I'm getting very project manager vibes here.
Yeah, it's basically, so they've got all this project management. So they have product owners that, is all about the product as far as making it better. And then product led growth, I believe, is somebody that enhances the product only with the intention of growing the user base or, making it more accessible or whatever they need to do to make it more successful to new people versus make the product better for existing. I think that's the differentiation. I'm still not 100% clear, but he has us doing new sign-up flows, to do some A/B testing there. And as he's talking about it, I had no clue that somebody had already ripped apart the entire old sign-up flow and moved most of it into some HubSpot form. I'm still not clear exactly what it does outside of it being a form on another system that posts the data to our old sign-up flow. And I'm like, I had no clue you did this. Sometimes you learn something new.
That's the challenge. I mean, especially monoliths like the one you work in. Things change, and you might not touch that area of the code base in years, and you don't use the product on the regular to even know, especially something like the entryway into the product. Like if you were to use the product, even if you used it every day, you wouldn't be doing the sign up workflow again. So,
have I told you about the ride across California?
Mm-mm.
So I signed up for this thing. Unfortunately, we are on the wait list now, but the ride across California is a little nonprofit that takes fifth graders. You can sign up for it to literally ride your bike from Yuma, Arizona, all the way to either the bay or the ocean, and you're riding all the way across California and dipping your wheel in the water at the end to say, I made it across. And
it sounds familiar. I think I remember something along that lines when the kids were in school.
Yeah, it started back in 1991, so it's been a thing. It was started here in Rancho Penasquito, so most of the riders come from here. But basically, they took everyone that had interest. You had to show up to one of two mandatory meetings at the beginning, and then based on the number of signups, they selected X number of people, and then everybody else is on the wait list. And supposedly it was a random lottery. So now I'm in the hunt for a new bike for my kid because his bike is small and not going to make it across California, especially going up hills.
Dude, like Yuma is not around the corner.
No, that's the whole point. It's a 7-day bike ride over spring break, and it's basically a riding / camping trip. You ride for up to like 10 hours a day, and then you camp overnight, get up and do it again the next day, going up and over the mountain.
Again, you're not selling me on this because riding for 10 hours a day on a motorcycle is like uncomfortable. And I love motorcycles, but like pedaling fifth graders' legs are not that long. Pedaling a bike for 10 hours a day and then like promising them a s'mores that night. I don't know what you're thinking here. Maybe not the best idea for a fifth grader.
They've supposedly have never had anybody not make it. So
yeah, we've never had anybody die yet. So
no, I meant like quit in the middle. But I mean, they are very rigid in their rules of you have to have 350 training miles between now and before you even go on the ride.
350. John, are you
total,
sure you're talking about the kid and not the parents? Like, are you sure it's not the parents doing this?
And the kid. So it will be me and Grayson going on this ride if he gets into it. So I'm looking for a bike now so we can start our training to accumulate all of these miles so that, come March next year, we've got 350 miles of training in just to do a 260-mile ride.
No, I mean, okay. Good luck with that, man. I that seems like awful. I mean, I'm all for torturing children. I have no problem. My kids played a sport where death was like a real possibility with water polo, and I was okay with that. But I don't know, man. This sounds like a lot. A big commitment.
It is a big commitment. I'm excited about it, though. So even if we don't get in, which we should, just the training part will be fun. just to get out and ride around with my kids.
You know you can do that anyways, right? I mean, you don't have
No.
to be training for anything.
No, we're going to be training because I'm hoping to do it.
That's the
It'll be-
only
it'll be-
reason
it'll
I
be
want
good.
to spend time with my kids. There was
No.
something to do.
No,
Oh,
No,
John.
no, no.
All right.
it'll be good.
Yeah. You know what else is good, John?
What else is good?
Error reporting, John. And
That is
knowing
good.
what's going on with your application before your customers do.
Wide events in the context of application logs and observability lately. A wide event is just a collection of properties that may be useful later. The more, the better.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt this sponsor ad for a second.
I was about to say
Because
something.
I that's not the one I wanted to run. I wanted to run this other one, and then I wanted to delete it because I didn't like it, but it just is so bad. I wanted to share it with everybody. So we're gonna start that again. Thank you, Honey Badger.
Sauron for your app without making a deal with the Dark Lord? Sauron for your app without making a deal with the Dark Lord? Okay, Splunk and Datadog aren't exactly evil, but they sure are expensive. For observability that you can afford, you should try Honeybadger. They're an application health monitoring tool for developers, and they're building an observability platform that doesn't cost you your soul. You can use Honeybadger to answer any question about your data with a simple query language. No need to infiltrate Mordor. Honeybadger's free developer plan includes error tracking, uptime monitoring, custom charts and dashboards, and 50 megabytes per day of structured event logging. Everything you need to get started. Visit honeybadger.io to learn more. That's www.honeybadger.io. Thank you, Honeybadger.
Thank you, Honey Badger. I give John a hard time because it's very. I don't see him try to be this creative that frequently. And so it's not that it was a bad read. Like, I guess I kind of misrepresented that. Just not like the read, not the commercial or the ad I would want to run week after week. So I wanted to make sure I got it out of the way this week because I'd forget about it next week before I started working my way through the rotation again.
This wasn't
But
me
yes,
being
thank you.
creative. It's not me being creative.
That was yes, it was. They didn't write that for you, did they?
All of those ads were the copy was from them.
Good work, Honey Badger. Good work.
Whoopsie.
Oh man.
Because I am not that creative.
This has got really
Awkward.
awkward. Yeah. Should probably carry on the rest of the show. We got double header for you this afternoon, people. If you're interested. What, John?
I was gonna say, we pulled our Patreon funding and we were gonna put it back, but now we'll just leave it off.
Do we share that story? I'm going to share that story. I'll share that story.
No, it's fun. I mean, I think it's fun.
We got an email. So Patreon is like this weird thing. Of course, we always thank our Patreon supporters at the beginning of the show, and we even show our Patreon supporters during the show when we remember to do it. Actually, it's in multiple places if you pay attention. But like with Honey Badger specifically, like you don't want to draw too much attention to it because you don't want them to realize that, wait a minute, are we still sponsoring these guys? Like, and pull their funding? So it's not like we interact with Honey Badger all the time. Every now and then they send us a new ad read, which is kind of one of those kind of validations of, okay, they know they're still sponsoring us sort of deal. But we got an email from them that said, hey, you probably noticed we canceled our Patreon support. I'm like, and as I'm reading it, I'm like, yeah, it doesn't surprise me. He goes, but don't worry, I'm just changing credit cards or changing accounts. Changing
we
accounts.
have multiple.
Yeah, we're and I'm like, oh, so you're gonna sign back up? Oh, well, that's weird. Sure. So they know, they still know they're sponsoring us, everyone. Just so you're aware, all you haters out there.
And we interact with their
writing
site
into
all the
them.
time because we use them.
We do use them.
We just don't
Matter of fact,
interact with
we
the
pay
peoples.
for more what we use than probably what they sponsor us for. So yeah, that's we got to really work on those accounting practices, John.
Oh, our expenses aren't supposed to be higher than our income.
No, probably
I thought
not.
I thought it was get those numbers as high as you can. I didn't know it mattered which ones was which.
Oh man. All right. What do you got going on? You want to talk about things?
Let's talk about things. You got lots on your board.
I got tons. I'm gonna get this first thing out of the way just because I don't want to talk about it, but I feel like we need to talk about it. We got an election going on in this country. I'm sure everybody's aware of. Oh, matter of fact, did you watch the debate?
I did. I did.
The one thing he had right is, yeah, other countries are laughing at us, but not for the reasons you think. Yeah, I keep saying, and I'll continue to say this, we try not to get too political on the show because it's just not, we try to stay in our lane. But the truth of the matter is politics and tech, the way they're merging lately is just, you can't not talk about it anymore. And this is an exact example of this. Legal Eagle did a breakdown of something I wasn't even aware of because I don't follow a lot of right-wing stuff and all that, but did a breakdown on right-wing YouTubers secretly paid by Russia. And it's a breakdown of how it's, I guess, become evident now, or there's a whole investigation from the FBI.
There's an accusation.
That the a lot of very popular right-wing, and if you don't know what right-wing here is in the U.S., it's the Republicans, and in recent years, the MAGA and Donald Trump people, the extreme right-wing influencers, in that they're being paid by Russian propaganda groups to say things and to present information in a certain light. And like, this is like one of those things, like, really, this can't really be like a real thing, right? And no, it is very much a real thing. And this has been, these accusations, and I use the words accusation very lightly, but of the way that they're influencing things like Twitter and Facebook and streams, and has been around for a couple of election cycles now. But this seems different because this is, I mean, these are grumpy old podcasters like us who are getting paid $100,000 an episode. An episode.
What are we doing wrong?
So when I
Honey Badger, we're changing our support levels on Patreon tonight.
That's right. So when I start, talking about how awesome Ruby is in near future, and I'm driving around in Lambo, you guys kind of know what's happening. I'm getting paid, to do so. But this was just really weird. Not a whole lot to talk about here. I'll include the link in the show notes, but it's definitely worth the watch to see how this happens. And I don't know. I just thought it was like, again, the way politics and the way politics and technology are just like, the way technology is being used in politics now is just insane. It's absolutely insane. So I'll put that in there. All right, let's get on to more PHP stuff, more fun stuff, more focused stuff. We talked last week about how I started doing blog posts on phparchitect.com again. And for what it's worth, we have blog posts on phptech.io as well around the conference itself. But on Mastodon, I had posted links to it on Twitter or X and Mastodon. And on Mastodon, somebody had referenced PHP annotations, or referenced the contributor PHP annotations, saying, "Hey, for your next PHP annotations." And PHP annotations was something I would read all the time, and I'm like, "Wow, man! I hadn't read PHP annotations in a while. I should go check it out." And it was not being published anymore. Uh, Now, I know a secret about, well, I don't know a secret. I know some back office stuff about this that I just assumed was why it wasn't being published. And I wasn't going to talk about it because I don't have confirmation of anything. Let me see. Can I share things here? Let me go ahead and share this with you guys. I didn't have confirmations of anything or anything like that. So I was like, all right, I'm not gonna talk about it on the show, but I thought it was nice that they had mentioned PHP annotations. And then I turn around and they have PHP annotations again today, which was really cool. I'm so happy to see this is back. It's only been gone for a few weeks. I mean, I'm sure, or a few months. When was the last one? Last one was in June. So I'm sure things just got busy or whatever. But yeah, and my blog post, funny enough, because it was mentioned to this, I'm not going to say who it was mentioned to exactly, because I don't want to call anybody out exactly, but I said, "Oh, I'm going to put my blog post in here," and they didn't. So that was hurtful. But they do have tech in here. So PHP tech is mentioned in here somewhere. I promise you it's mentioned in here somewhere. Here it is, PHP Tech 2025. So, yep. I just thought that was cool. You're a PHP developer and you don't know about PHP annotations. You 100% want to get on board. Look at that. This is popping up all over the place now. Okay, we're going to talk about this here in a second. PHP annotations, you definitely want to give this a read.
Yeah. As I pulled this up, I did not know this, but Joe Watkins, who's been huge in the community and one of the creators of the PHP Foundation, is asking for help. I guess he's facing homelessness and loss of life-saving meds. It's in that annotated link. If you
wait,
Yeah.
what? Where?
Right above that video, up the other way, you'll see a little YouTube link above that. Keep going up. Right above that one. And I saw that and it made me sad. So I thought I would call that out and just.
Oh, I love this. I love this sweater here. That's kind of cool. Yeah, I interviewed him, which was nice when he was I think he was a release manager, kind of manager, right? It was like the PHP release managers. They were doing it where they would have two new people in one veteran release manager. He was the veteran release manager. Yeah, I'm not aware of this. I guess I should have looked at things. He looks like he's doing pretty good in his fundraising.
I don't know how long it's been open, but
yeah,
it's got a long way to go to meet that goal.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I have to give this a check. We'll throw this link in our show notes as well. So, but yeah, PHP annotations, definitely check it out. So the thing I said popping up all over the place is this project right here. If you're not aware, in a couple of hours, matter of fact, almost 2 hours exactly from right now, I'll be doing a PHP roundtable where we're going to be discussing TUIs, text-based user interface, and the command line, because I'm a big terminal guy and I love that stuff. And I thought it was like, hey, man, this is cool. We have a couple of people coming on the panel who are very well versed in this sort of thing. And when I was doing research for TUIs, I came across this link here, which for this package for creating TUIs with PHP. And then, of course, in our Discord, which if you're a part of our Discord, you would know this. It was live streamed today by, who was it live streamed by, John? What's that person's name?
I didn't watch it, so I don't remember.
God damn it, John.
I know I'm terrible.
He's this guy right here. What's his name? Building 2. He's I can't. I'm so bad with names. It's not even funny. Oh, what's his website, John? You know his website. Come on.
He does a PHP annotated
PHP Annotated
video.
website.
You
Yeah.
did.
Brent's. That's
Brent.
his name.
There
I
we go.
feel that
Brent.
If the window
I remember
was-
before I looked it up. I don't know why it hit me.
So he did a live stream today of building with that package, that PHP 2e package. And I'm like, man, like everybody's talking about it today. I don't even want to talk about it on PHP Roundtable now. Brent is not going to be on the show, by the way. It's going to be Jess Archer and Joe something. Oh, hell. I feel terrible. I'm so bad with names. It's not even funny how bad I am with names. Let's share this. Share it with Joe. This Joe right here. Joe Stamos? No, almost. Tannenbaum. I was very close with Stamos.
You're only off by one. You're off by one letter. ST.
So, I put Ben on here, Ramsey, who hasn't been part of a roundtable in months because he replied that he accepted the calendar invite. So, and Sarah will be there. TJ and myself. No Ferguson. Unfortunately, Joe Ferguson wasn't able to make it. But yeah. So, yeah, all that stuff going on. And I'm excited.
I would be excited and watch, but I will be bowling, so I can't. Sorry.
So once again, I'm just not that important to you. I get it, John.
I picked that back up starting last week.
Is that a bowling reference? Like you pick up the split, or what's it called? Don't you pick up a split? Isn't that what's
spare? Pick up a spare.
Pick up a spare. Yeah. All right, moving on. We're gonna move on.
Sarah's, I hope, trolling you.
It's very possibly she's not, but what did she say? I'm gonna go all the way down.
Is there a round table today? It's right there on the screen in front of you.
Yeah, she's just mad at me because I was right about something today, and she does not like that. Taylor Otwell posted today on X that the things that he demoed in Laracon a couple weeks ago are finally released. So that is kind of cool. That deferred one being one of them. Yeah. So if you're at Laracon or if you're reading the Laracon stuff, check it out. It was nothing too earth-shattering. The defer stuff was interesting to me. The flexible, I like the flexible idea. What it is, I'm actually doing something like this. Oh, you know what? Well, shit, Taylor. I actually did this exact thing I'm rewriting PHP Roundtable using Tailwind, the latest Laravel, because the current Roundtable is inherited code from Sammy, which it wasn't bad code. It was just written on older versions of Laravel. I kind of, shoehorned in Livewire and Tailwind worked in certain spots, but didn't work in other spots. And I didn't care enough to try to figure out why. And so I just started rewriting it last week, I think. I'm really close to finishing it up. I should be finished up, I'm hoping this weekend, actually. But exactly what he's doing here, which is basically adding a randomness with how long something is cached for, which is really cool because I had to do something very similar. So that's kind of cool. But there was nothing like earth shattering where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so happy this is here now. But
what's the reasoning behind randomly how long something is cached for?
Good question, John. Let's talk code here for a second, shall we? So like I said, rewriting a PHP Roundtable. But when PHP Roundtable was first done, Twitter was really the only social network that everybody was on. And now, and the APIs for Twitter were very fun to use, right? They were free. You could do all sorts of things with them. good times, really. We all enjoyed coding back then, especially with Twitter. Fast forward, a couple of months, and Twitter is no longer. Not only is Twitter, well, Twitter is no longer. X, formerly known as Twitter, is not only no longer fun to work with, but it's very expensive to work with it, right? And it's also not the only, kid in the sandbox anymore. There are a lot of social networks out there. So, for example, Sarah, who was long banned from Twitter for just, making fun of me, but we don't talk about that. She was on Mastodon. So I had hacked something together in the website where if the social network, I created a new field. So there was a Twitter handle, and I created a Mastodon handle. And if somebody had a Mastodon handle but didn't have a Twitter handle, show their Mastodon handle on the page. So if you go to phproundtable.com now, you go to today's show, you'll notice that Sarah's avatar is to her Mastodon account. But that doesn't even hold true anymore, right? Because there are a lot of people out there who are still on Twitter and on Mastodon, but prefer to be on Mastodon, like prefer to do the interaction on Mastodon. So, and this is what sparked the whole rewrite of PHP Roundtable, because I'm like, okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a preference, like a preferred social network. And, whatever that's set to, that's what the avatar will show up on. And then I'll create another page for like the guest profiles, and I'll just have all their social media links on there. And, the more I talk to myself about it, the more I realize I'm just going to rewrite the whole application now, because I'm trying to shoehorn too many things into the old code base, and I can't get it upgraded anymore, and I'm done with it. So that's what I was working on. And I even talked to you about it. I'm like, I was so excited about the fact that not only did I come up with the solution for having multiple social media handles for each guest and being able to define a preference to that social media handle, but I also came up with a way to grab the avatars. Okay, so coming full circle here, why is that caching in that variation of how long a cache is good for important? So Mastodon, not an issue. Haven't really worked on the other social networks like Facebook and all that, because I don't really care about those too much. It falls back to a Gravatar URL or avatar. So if they don't have a Gravatar avatar, it'll just get like the default Gravatar avatar.
Right.
So I figured, if that's the absolute fallback, I'm fine. Mastodon, got the avatars, not an issue at all. Twitter, okay, so we're back to that conversation, right? So I'm like, the free tier on Twitter only allows you to make 3 calls to the user profile every 15 minutes. So that's one call, 3 calls. And
so one call every 5 minutes.
One call. The problem is, like today's show, what do we have? We have 6, 7 people on there. So if I were to dynamically load those avatars, that's a lot of avatars, right? I mean, I've already exceeded my allotted 3 calls every 15 minutes every time somebody loads that page. So I was like, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cache these avatars, and I'm actually caching it to the database, so I don't have to worry about if the server has to get rebooted or something and having to recreate that cache. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna cache the avatars, but even that wasn't working, right? Because again, today's show is a perfect example. I've got too many people. It can't even get through the show to get them all cached in time. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to write a job that goes through the entire database right now and caches everybody's avatar. And I'll space it out so that I only run 3 every 15 minutes. And I'm thinking, fantastic idea. And I'm doing that, right? And I set it to expire in like I think it was 12 months because I can have it be a long cache. I'm not looking to refresh people's avatars every month or anything. So I'm like, all right, this is fantastic. And I have that running. Keep in mind, 3 avatars every 15 minutes. And I have this running for like 6 or 7 hours. So I'm slowly making progress because there's about 150 to 175 people in the database. I'm slowly making progress. And then it hits me. All those fucking caches are going to expire at the same time. And I'm going to have to do this again. So,
Well,
hence,
it should have been 12 hours from the time you cached it.
12 months.
I mean 12 months,
right?
which would
But they're
include that
all
time offset.
right. But it's offset by 15 minutes or whatever, right? I get what you're saying, but it's not like a major offset. So the thing. Well, so again, my theory of I'll just run this once every 6 months because I check to see if there's already a cache of that avatar, a valid cache of that avatar before I go check again. I'm like, I'll just run this once every 6 months. But again, going to run into the same problem. So that's when I'm like, okay, I'm going to randomly set the cache from 12 months to, I forget what I said, 20 months or something. So now it's a random number between 12 and 20 months that the cache is being set. So all the avatars have different cache expirations by like months, potentially months. So that was, so to come all the way back around to what we're talking about, that's why.
All because of Twitter.
All because of Twitter. Yeah. All because of Twitter. And it's fun. Like, it's one of those things that as you're coding, you're frustrated with. It's like, this sucks. Like, why is it like this? And I looked at it, I'm like, all right, forget it.
You have a paid account too.
I'm a company, right? Yeah. If you're a Twitter Prime member, you should definitely have another level for that developer stuff. But I'm like, I'm a company. We use social media all the time. I'll just start using these Twitter APIs to do our auto posting when like we publish a magazine or something, and we don't have to use our third party service anymore. And because I know how to do it with Mastodon already, and I'm very comfortable with that. So I'm like, all right, yeah, this will all be good. This is good. I looked at the price, the business plan, like the I think Pro. There's 2 plans. The cheapest of the 2 plans is $500 a month. 500. I don't care how much I use to, unless I have a company like Hootsuite. I'm not making $500 a month off my use of Twitter. And it's like, I can't believe that's their entry level paid tier is $500. And then it goes up. And there's $500 and then there's $5,000 a month. I'm just like, this is insane that people are paying this. So yeah, so you get excited as a coder because you figure out ways to work around stuff like this, work around these limitations.
I'm not suggesting anyone do this, but you could create multiple accounts and get 3 times the number of accounts you created to make API calls.
I got a better suggestion for you, John. And I am perfectly fine if somebody wants to steal this idea from me. Somebody should create an avatar service where it goes out and gets the avatars for Twitter users and avatars of Mastodon users and just have this like
just use Gravatar. It's free.
I agree with that too. Just use Gravatar. Really.
Although I don't think I've updated my avatar in there in years.
That's fine. Who cares?
But
yeah,
at least but I have one there. Yeah.
And if you don't use Gravatar, if you haven't used Gravatar recently, they've made a lot of changes where you can assign different Gravatars to different email addresses, which I don't think was a thing before. Maybe it was. I just don't remember it. But yeah, it has some new features. It's worth checking out if you haven't looked at it recently. I have Gravatars in there. I have Gravatars for our company emails in there, and I always go in there and like toss a Gravatar. See, here's Sarah. Sarah's going to make a service, and she's going to charge people $500 a month to use it because, it makes sense.
Yep.
Okay, what do we got next? Do I got more to talk about? I feel like I got more to talk. Oh, okay. I kind of blew over this. Let me open this up. Rewriting PHP Roundtable again. Of course, doing it with Tailwind, and I came across this plugin, and I haven't used it yet, and I'm very excited to use it. But it's called Fluid for Tailwind. Tailwind out of the box. If you're familiar with what Tailwind is, it's this. I forget what it's called, but it's a CSS sort of thing, right? It's utility first or something. CSS framework.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Mm-hmm.
Before you get into this, since we're talking about Gravatar, pull that up in your browser. I'll let everyone laugh at me. I shared it in private chat.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Hold on, let me make this bigger before I share it, because people aren't going to look at this very long, and I want them to I really want them to appreciate what they're looking at here. Look how serious you look. Like you really you think you're the Mac Daddy there, don't you? You are a happy person. How old are you here?
This is going back to 2007 or 8. So I was right around.
Look at that hair, man.
20.
Holy smokes.
I would have been 30-ish.
30-ish?
Yeah, I got one more here for you.
We'll keep sharing. Yeah. This tracks. This all tracks. Yeah.
I forgot about all these.
These are awesome. So awesome. So happy you shared those with the family. That's good. There's Nightmare Field.
Yep.
Okay. So Tailwind out of the box is made to make responsive design easier. And it does kind of do that, right? And it does it in a way where it assumes the default styles you're using are for the smallest device, which I always feel like it's a backwards way of thinking, but it's fine. I'm done fighting with it. It always ends up biting me in the ass because I always forget it. But if you don't have anything defining a specific size, it'll assume what you're putting in is meant to fit on a small screen. It's how you want it to fit on the small screen, and then you can change it based on the approach of MD, LG, which medium, large, and they all translate to different sizes. If you look down here on the side, this is kind of what it looks like, right? This is like the default. Does it highlight there? Yeah, it does. This is like the default. Let me make this bigger for you guys. This is like the default, and then it says on a medium, go P8, and P stands for padding, and LG P10. With this fluid for Tailwind, this is what that looks like now. It's a little squiggly line P 6 to 10, and it automatically scales it based on the screen size, which I love this approach because I'm like, okay, yes, on my biggest screen, I want it to be the number on the right, and on my smallest screen, I want it to be the number on the left. And you can translate the between screens as somebody, as the size goes.
So,
right?
So is that first part replacing the P6, medium P8, large P10?
Yep. That replaces that.
Why are they still showing it in there? Is it just example, or
I'm sure they're just showing you what replaces what, because that's what this does. And that's what this does.
It's all okay. I see green, red. So remove that. Yeah. Put this. Got it.
Right. I absolutely love this approach, and I am itching to jump into my code base and give this a try, because the only way this could be better, because the other thing you have to do in Tailwind, which I assume you still have to do with this, is have a different definition for dark mode or light mode. Well, the default is like whatever the default mode is, and then you have to define what the other mode is. So I did this with phptech.io, right? phptech.io now has dark mode, and I have to go through and have to look at all the elements of the site that doesn't look good in dark mode, and then define specific styles for dark mode. I would love to find a package that does this sort of thing with that. But this here, this is huge for me. This is massive for me. I am so excited about giving this a try. And it's just a plugin in Tailwind. So I can't wait to give this a shot and get it installed. I'll tell everybody about next week on why I hate it and why it just doesn't deliver like I said it would. But as it stands right now, it's exciting stuff, man. All this stuff will be in the show notes. So yeah, where are we on time? Because we are cutting it tight today. Because I gotta take a nap before my next show. I'm an old man.
We've been rambling. I really want that next one. If you're willing to talk about it, I'm very curious about it. I don't know.
I do want to talk about it. Because, all right. Oh, gosh, yes. Yes, I want to talk about it. I was going to give you a hard time about it. Let me cue it up here a little bit here. Yeah. Let me put this here, I guess. And then I'll cue this up. I didn't have these tabs ready. I'm sorry, everybody listening on the audio version. I didn't have the tabs ready. That's a joke. You guys don't see the tabs. You should really watch the live stream because the live stream is so much cooler. Yeah, let's start here, I guess.
YouTube.com/PHPArch.
Yeah.
Find it.
/live. Did you know if you do go PHP, youtube.com/PHPArch/live, it'll always show you what the live thing is?
Yes, right, I'm talking to our audio viewers who won't be able to watch it live.
Yeah.
Or audio listeners, not viewers. Like was dumb of me.
Yeah, no, we're all used to it. All right, let's share this. Okay, so what John is talking about, I explore new keyboards. I like new keyboard layouts, and I have actually found layouts now that I really love. The one I use right now is the Advantage 360, which the things I love about it is the keys are concaved and the keys are vertical, right? They don't offset, which I have really come to appreciate. That in Grumpy talked about the home row mod, which has also changed my life. So I'm getting more used to my finger staying on the home row of my keyboard and moving less and less, which I really trying to focus on more and more. John hasn't really adopted this stuff. Like he has an advantage, and but he doesn't really use. As a matter of fact, you don't even have it anymore. You gave it to me, didn't you?
I think so. Yeah.
And so he's tried the different keyboards, but hasn't really taken to them. This next thing I think I want to do. It's these where like one key now does multiple things. Oh, you can't really see it up here very much, but I'll come over here to the Primogen's video. And I'll play this a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and mute it because not that we don't like listening to Primogen, which for the record, guy talks a lot of PHP now. He was at Laracon. We're the ones that started that whole thing. I kept saying how he's coming around on PHP. Everybody laughed at me. I'm like, I'm telling you, the guy's coming around on PHP. And we even joked about him giving the keynote at PHP Tech because I felt like he was embracing PHP that much. And everybody thought I was crazy. And you might be right, but he ended up at Laracon and he talks about PHP all the time now. But I'm digressing. So this keyboard here, and I'll play it because he's playing the video in the background, seems very intimidating to me, like super intimidating. But also, I kind of want to do this. The only thing I'm not sure about is how this sort of mechanics translates to like a Vim setup where you might be pressing multiple keys to do something. You might have a multiple key combination to do something. I can't in my head right now get it wrapped around how that would work with this sort of keyboard, but I really want this to be like the next thing I try, and I really want it to be good because I hate the whole thing with TUIs and Terminal and CLI today at PHP Roundtable, and the whole thing I talk about why I like Vim. Even when I'm using PHP Storm, I use Vim and Vim bindings in every application I have. Vim and Vim bindings are important to me because I can't stand my hands leaving the keyboard. And this just makes that look so much better and so much easier because, again, I got these big monkey paws. And even though I have a big keyboard, I'm still, my fingers still stumble and keep hitting the wrong keys. And the concept of resting my fingers on keys and just being able to move them up and down to get them to do things. Oh man, I want me some of that. I want some of that in spades right now. I really do. I'm excited. I mean, I'm not excited. I'm not saying like I'm excited because I ordered this. I can't wait for it to come in. I don't even think it's a thing yet. It was a
it's on
startup.
It's on Kickstarter.
Yeah, it's a Kickstarter.
And
we all know how that goes.
Yeah, it upset me because I clicked on your link in the show notes, and then which took me to Kickstarter, which reminded me of how much money I've wasted on Kickstarter over the years.
To their defense, they are a keyboard company, so like they have existing keyboards. At least I think they have existing. You know, I say that now, and I don't know if it's true. Let me double check. Nope, I totally lied to everybody on the stream. I'm sorry about that. It doesn't look like they have existing keyboards. So yeah, as far as I know, they're just a Kickstart company, and I've been burned on these before. I know John's been burned on them before. Yeah, I don't think I put the Kickstarter link in show notes, but
it's available from the site.
Yeah, right.
You know what I did get from my Kickstarter? A PHP Architect orange elephant way back in the day, and a PHP Women purple elephant way back in the day.
Oh, really? Those were Kickstarters?
Yep.
I didn't know that. PHP Women and PHP Architect elephants were Kickstarters. I have PHP Architects. I have a big old PHP Woman around here somewhere. Oh, there it is.
Like I got it right behind me.
Oh, you got the PHP Woman?
Yeah.
Well, see, you grabbed the big PHP Archie, so I didn't know if you had the woman one, but yeah, I got a big PHP Woman one too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good times. Good times. All right, I feel like I've been hogging the whole show, John. I'm sure you have things you want to talk about, articles you want to review. I'm sure you have Trello notes.
You didn't move the thing over. I got you. Yeah. All right, we should thank our Patreons. That was next.
Let's do that. Let's do that. That's a great idea. Thank you for all of our supporters on Patreon, which for whatever reason it's not loading. There it goes. That's it looks like a tornado. It's a wildfire, and that's the smoke. That's Southern California today. No. Actually, it could be, but it's not. But it looks kind of like, the wildfires are bad when the fires start forming little fire tornadoes. That's terrifying. I've witnessed that a couple times and find not witnessing it again. Okay. Yeah. Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. And yes, John, I still haven't fixed the kite. Piss off.
It's fine. Nobody would have noticed had you not pointed it out.
Audio listeners, I'm going to be real with you. Audio podcast. I'm not so sure it's coming out tonight. See how well my second show goes. I got a big panel on the second show, so I am not planning on speaking a whole lot.
Let's see how that goes.
Yeah. See how that goes.
This is you we're talking about. You have the gift of gab. I do not.
Only place I feel safe, John. Only place I feel safe. All right. Yeah, thank you all of our supporters on Patreon. I don't know how long this video is almost over now, but we're gonna cut it short. Anything else, John?
Not a whole lot. I've been texting with my buddy who's going to come pick me up for bowling tonight. So he's telling me that I better have my stuff ready. Otherwise, he's not picking me up.
Yeah. I was going to make a, make sure you grab your balls joke, but I couldn't come up with something quick enough. So I just, all right. If you're kicking it and sitting around and you're watching the live stream, we will do a little after show, but again, after show will probably be very short. John has balls to fondle, and I have another podcast to do. But that other podcast will be the PHP Roundtable podcast at 5:30 Pacific time, which is in about an hour 24 minutes from right now, and we are talking TUIs and command line, which seems to fit into the theme of the world right now, which is really, really exciting. And I think that's it. We're doing this again next week.
This is the plan.
All right.
Why is there something going on next week that I should know about?
I don't know anymore, man. I don't know. I just work until an alarm goes off, and then I try to figure out why I set that alarm. That's what happened today. I'm like, why did I set an alarm for 2:50? Oh, that's right. It's Thursday.
It's recurring.
All right. That's it. Episode 397 is in the books. I'm Eric.
And I'm John. Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know, Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with the clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John. You know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles, which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. Shouts out to PHP, the ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey. 1, 2, 1.
I'm trying to find this.
VidCon.
Where?
VidCon, which I guess was in Anaheim, I think recently, but their website doesn't give you any like dates. When was the date of these things?
I do like Sarah's Tiger Cat. I gotta watch Discord more during the show. I'm trying to find Sarah's Discord here, but how?
I wanted to bring that up, but I was trying to stay away from the politics. But man, that was crazy.
Oh my god, dude, so nuts. Sarah did write me a very nice poem today. I'm trying to find. Yeah, it's not. I mean, I'm not going to get it on this Discord. It was in another chat we had, but yeah, Sarah. I called Sarah out on something, and it was funny because her response was like this long poem, and the fact that you can do that stuff off the cuff, people have that sort of wit to them. It's amazing to me. I love that stuff. Yeah. So did you? I feel bad about. I've never been somebody who followed politics closely, but of recent election cycles, I have been because of the absolute bizarro world we live in U.S. politics right now. And the current wife does do a pretty good job at staying arm's length away, but because of me, gets pulled into these conversations a lot. And I do try not to rant too much about it. And we all know how good I am at not ranting about things. But man, watching the debate last night live was like me watching the World Series when the Nationals were like winning the World Series and me losing my shit in the positive way. Except last night it was me losing my shit in the negative way, where I would like stand up and start screaming at the television. And I'm like, what the hell am I doing right now? Like, why am I screaming at the television right now? Here's Sarah's poem to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, what am I doing right now? Why am I screaming at the television? They can't hear me, and I'm making no difference to how this debate's going. And of course, the current wife is sitting there, and she has to go to work. You know, she doesn't want to sit there and listen to me yell at the television the couple hours before she has to go to work. And I felt bad, but it was infuriating. And the fact that they kept allowing him to have the last word on every topic, even though the way they go back and forth, it was actually Harris's turn to have the last word, and they were supposed to move into another topic. He would start talking and take the last word again. It was because if you're not here in the U.S., I'm sure you're aware of the nuttiness that goes on in politics, but something that might not be talked about a lot outside the U.S. is Trump attacks the media constantly, calls everybody fake news who doesn't agree with him, and turns his followers against the news, which is like classic, dictator move of, hey, the news is lying to you, only I'm telling you the truth, sort of thing. So as a result, the news walks on eggshells around Donald Trump. They're very careful not to put him in too bad of a light, or so they don't want to make it, they don't want to have the perception that they're biased against Trump. And so they try to be overly generous with him. And last night was a perfect example of that. Like, the guy would not shut up, and they just kept trying to be very polite and just let him keep talking. Forget the fact that you're taking time away from the other candidate here. We'll let you keep talking. Sure, just keep talking. And it's like,
but not to defend the guy, but that happens in, I think, every presidential debate. There's somebody that drones on or goes over time, and the moderators try really hard to stop them, but also try not to be too rude. I thought they tried stopping him a couple times, and
but I know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, John's always so nice on these things, But I disagree with that. Yes, you're right. There's always these cases where people over go their time, but that's not what was happening. They were talking to Harris. They posed a question to Trump. Trump gave their response. They posed a question to Harris. Harris gave their response. It's now Harris's turn to take the next topic. They were talking to Harris. They go to talk to give her the next topic to talk about, and then Trump starts talking. And instead of saying, Mr. Former President or Mr. Federally indicted criminal, we've moved on, it's Harris's turn. They didn't do that. They just let him talk. And I have seen debates in the past where they've said, Sir, we're moving on. We're having another. We've moved on to the next question from Miss Harris, and just like, oh man, it's frustrating.
I loved how she reacted, especially with the eating cats and dogs. Like, just laughed at him. Like, are you seriously buying that? Like,
well, what was great is like, it was.
He believes it.
The baiting she did, you saw her do it. Like, she was just waiting for the right opportunity to talk about how his rally size is so small because he loses his shit on that. And she was waiting. She says it, and then you see her just look at him like waiting for him, and then he takes the bait. It was a masturbating. It was perfect masturbation right there. And he just took it and lost his mind. That's actually when he ended up. It started with rally size, the size of his rallies, and he ends up
People leaving him.
He goes. He doesn't stop. One stream of thought. He talks about that. He talks about the border. And he talks about people eating the cats and dogs in the neighborhood. And I'm like, what just happened? And they let him keep talking. They just let him keep talking. He was upset because he's like, ABC, they were so biased, which is exactly what they try not to do. They're like, they were so biased, they kept fact checking me. They didn't fact check her once. I'm like, because she didn't lie. They only fact check you when you lie.
They don't fact check you when you lie, because there's plenty of lies. They fact check you when you're just dumb. When you're spouting just insanities.
Yeah. It's so frustrating.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we got that out of our system.
I hope so, man. I hope so. All right, I know you got to go. I got to turn over the restream here, so it's PHP,
nice and fresh.
Ugly. PHP ugly. Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I have both these shows on the same day. I've got to not say the ugly word on the roundtable thing, because if I do, people aren't so happy with me because they're not as forgiving as the ugly crowd is. Look at this. I'm gonna start swapping things out while we're talking. Look at that. Logos just changed. Nobody noticed that. Nobody saw that. What happened here? All right. Yeah, that's gonna be it.
You have a whole nother channel for it, don't you?
No, this was the channel. This was the channel. We did away with the PHP ugly channel and started using the roundtable channel.
No. In Restream, when I logged in, you can choose. I thought I could choose.
Oh yeah,
but it still comes in here.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's what I say. Even if I change the design, like we have the little design folder, even if I change the design, I have to still go through each scene and manually change all the designs because it doesn't take. I don't understand why that is, but yeah, that's a thing. So that's what I'm doing right now. I'm changing all the backgrounds over here. You'll see it the most here. I got to go through here and change the background. Boom. Oh, see this logo up in the right hand corner. I see. I keep forgetting. Now I got to change that there. And I got to come over here and change it over here because I've got to change it there. Yeah, this is what we'll be doing for the next half hour.
Gotcha.
So.
All right, we'll end the stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out with us.
Thanks everybody.